Amara Okafor was the first to change. When she gained admission into the university at 20 years old, her father had cried the day he dropped her off at the school gate. He was a thin, aging man whose hands had hardened from years of working under the sun. He had sold the last piece of family land to pay her school fees. Amara, he told her that day, his voice heavy with emotion, education is the only inheritance I can give you. She hugged him and promised she would make him proud. She meant it. At least, she did then. In her first year, Amara lived like every other struggling student. She ate Gary most nights. Sometimes she slept hungry. She wore the same 2 pairs of clothes over and over. She walked long distances under the hot sun because she couldn't afford transport. But everything changed the day she met Sandra. Sandra was a final year student who lived in a private lodge off campus. She wore expensive wigs that flowed down her back like water. She carried an iPhone that cost more than Amara's father earned in a year. She smelled like wealth. Confidence radiated from her like heat. Sandra noticed Amara staring at her one afternoon near the faculty building. "You're beautiful," Sandra said simply. Amara laughed nervously. Nobody had ever said it like that before. Sandra studied her carefully. "Why are you suffering?" Amara frowned. "I'm not suffering." Sandra smiled slowly. "You're lying." That was the beginning. At first, Amara resisted. She told herself she was different. She told herself she had values. She told herself she would never sell her body for money. But hunger is a persuasive enemy. So is poverty. And luxury is a dangerous temptation. Sandra didn't force her. She simply showed her what was possible. One night, Sandra invited her over. The lodge was beautiful. Air conditioning cooled the room. The fridge was full of food. Expensive shoes lined the wall. Amara had never seen anything like it. "Sit," Sandra told her. Amara sat. Sandra handed her a plate of rice and chicken. "Eat." Amara ate like someone who hadn't eaten in days. Sandra watched her. "There's a man," Sandra said calmly. "He likes beautiful girls." Amara froze. "I don't do that," Amara said quickly. Sandra shrugged. "That's fine." She reached into her drawer and pulled out a bundle of cash. Amara stared. Sandra placed it on the table. "This is what he paid me yesterday." Amara couldn't breathe. It was more money than she had ever seen in her life. Sandra leaned closer. "You don't have to suffer." That night, Amara couldn't sleep. She thought about her father. She thought about the land he sold. She thought about her empty stomach. She thought about the money. 3 days later, she called Sandra. Her life was never the same again. At first, she cried afterward. She hated herself. She promised it would be the last time. But the money was too good. Soon, she moved out of the hostel and into a private lodge. She bought new clothes, a new phone, a new life. And she wasn't alone for long. She introduced Blessing. Blessing Daniel was 23 and studying nursing. Her mother was a widow who sold vegetables in the market. Every time her mother called, she prayed for her daughter. "My daughter," her mother would say, "God will bless your future." Blessing always felt guilt when she heard those words. But guilt doesn't pay rent. She joined Amara. Then Tiwa. Tiwa Adebayo was 21. She loved beautiful things. She hated suffering. Her parents were teachers, but their salary was never enough. She joined quickly. Finally, Zainab. Zainab Bello was 22. Quiet. Observant. Ambitious. She resisted the longest. But eventually, she joined too. For girls. For daughters. For futures slowly dying behind fake smiles and expensive perfumes. They became known on campus. Not for academics, but for luxury. They wore designer clothes. They used expensive phones. They lived like queens. Other students admired them. Nobody knew the truth. Or maybe they did. But nobody said anything. Time passed. Their lifestyle became normal. Money flowed easily. Men came and went. Nothing scared them anymore. Until the night everything ended. It was a Friday night. The air was calm. Amara's phone rang. She answered. The caller spoke briefly. Her expression changed. When she ended the call, she looked at the others. There's a client, she said. Tiwa smiled. How much? Amara hesitated. Then she said it. 5 million naira. The room went silent. Blessing's heart skipped. Each? Tiwa asked. Amara nodded. Even Zainab looked shocked. No client had ever offered that much. Blessing felt something cold inside her stomach. This doesn't feel right, she said. Amara ignored her. We are going. An hour later, a long black car arrived. It was unlike anything they had seen before. The driver said nothing. They entered. The ride was long. Too long. Soon, the city lights disappeared. Darkness surrounded them. Blessing began to feel afraid. Where are we going? She asked. The driver didn't answer. Eventually, they reached a massive mansion. It stood alone. Silent. Cold. Unwelcoming. They entered. Inside was beautiful. Expensive. But empty. No staff. No noise. Nothing. Then he appeared. The billionaire. He was tall and calm. His face showed no emotion. He looked at them like they weren't human. Like they were objects. Blessing felt fear. Zainab felt danger. But Amara saw money. He welcomed them and offered drinks. They sat. Minutes passed. Then something changed. Men appeared from nowhere. Silent. Expressionless. The doors locked. Fear exploded inside them. Amara stood. We want to leave. The billionaire smiled. You're not leaving. Panic filled the room. They ran to the door. Locked. They screamed. Nobody came. Nobody heard. Nobody saved them. That was the moment they realized the truth. They had walked into death. Their cries filled the mansion. But outside, the night remained silent. Far away, their parents slept peacefully. Unaware. Unaware that their daughters would never come home again. By morning, the mansion was empty. The girls were gone. Their phones were gone. Their existence erased. Days passed. Then weeks. Their parents called. No answer. Their mothers cried. Their fathers searched. Police investigated. Nothing was found. No bodies. No evidence. No trace. It was as if they never existed. But on campus, rumors spread. Students whispered about the girls who lived like queens. The girls who disappeared overnight. Some said they traveled abroad. Others said they were kidnapped. But deep down, everyone knew. Luxury had a price. And they had paid it with their lives.